me tell y'all something. Let me put y'all on game here. Speaking as a man whose wife is 6'1", I am a whole ass 5'8". There have been some nights,
dog,
where this been me. And I'm just like, yeah, let's go. So look, I ain't mad at it, okay? I saw this and I hollered. I was like, yeah. I was like, that's me. You know how we always say we want to see representation, we want to see ourselves in the media we watch? When I saw this dude right here, I was like, that's me! You
can't see me, you Stevie, wondering how I reach more evolutions than Evie, and make it look easy.
For those who are not familiar, the character She-Hulk, she is making her way downtown. Walking fast. She's making her way to the MCU. We have seen some pretty interesting stuff. I think Carter, you and I have talked about it previously on various and sundry episodes. I think we even kind of showed some brief snippets of what the show was ultimately going to be looking, or not the show, but what She-Hulk was going to ultimately be looking like, and it looks like those reports turned out to be true. We got the full trailer earlier this week. Carter, are you ready to take a look? Which we've already done, but we're gonna just to refresh everyone, we're gonna take another look at the She-Hulk trailer.
Okay.
And then we're gonna run through it. We're gonna break it down, all that good gobbledygook.
Because I can already tell you right now, the same thing is going to make me mad that made me mad the first time I saw this trailer. And it ain't what made y'all mad.
Okay. All right. Well, look. Shit, Carter, tell us how you really feel. Let's take a look.
Being a superhero is a trial by fire. Who's going to protect the world if not people like you?
Jennifer Walters. I'm a lawyer. I have great friends.
Can we get some shots, please? It's an emergency.
Got Adrian Chase in here? What's up?
Demanding job.
We just started a superhuman law division, and I want you to be the face of it.
And a frustrating family.
Because you didn't ask for this, but you still got to deal with it. Your transformations are triggered by anger and fear.
Those are like the baseline of any woman just existing.
Oh.
Kind of feels like if I don't transform, I'm gonna die.
Yes. No.
Oh, she's finna beat brakes off. She's finna beat brakes off. And strike out a run.
Be a normal, anonymous lawyer.
Can you tell us where She-Hulk is? Jen, you're a story now.
Girl, your ass looks crazy right now.
Oh, she done bust the shoes up.
You could be an Avenger.
Oh, I'm not a superhero. That is for billionaires and narcissists and adult orphans for some reason. Is there anything more depressing than dating in your 30s?
This is the best date I've had in a while.
Hey, look at David O'Tongue out here.
We split some fries.
Let's get those to go.
That would be me, and I wouldn't be ashamed of it.
Look, I'd be like, yeah, please take me to Snoo Snoo.
That is Jade Cargill with Brian Cage just every night right there.
Look, right? Just like, oh, come on, let's go. So, one of the things I've seen a lot of people talk about is how she isn't as big as they want her to be. That's probably, honestly, that's the most common complaint I've seen people bring up, is that she's not the behemoth of a woman that they expected.
As much as y'all clown Lizzo, now y'all want a big girl. Get the fuck out of here.
Well, no, it's not even just that, though. You remember how bad people talked about She-Hulk during Jason Aaron's run? How they're like, oh man, get that big She-Hulk. Get that big ass She-Hulk up out of here. This She-Hulk, y'all didn't want this She-Hulk. But now a lot, and this is something I even brought up to some people that are maybe a little less familiar with She-Hulk than I am. Like, there were people like, oh well, I feel like she should be bigger. And my argument was that Well, there's different iterations of She-Hulk depending on. And here, let's go to this real quick. This is actually an image by Russell Dodderman that has all the different versions of She-Hulk, and as you can see, all of them kind of vary in size. All of them, they're kind of all over the place when it comes to size and shape.
That one in the middle, with the muscles, but more specifically. And I know this because I've had several tell me they think that's what they know. They think that's the problem.
Okay.
You see this first one that's more in front of the rest of them.
Right.
He is muscular, but
she's still trim.
She's still trim. But the main thing, there are two things that we haven't seen the one on the show have that this one got. Can you tell me what you think those two things could be, sir, Mr. Blerd, without fear, sir?
Well, I will say this: is it that she looks like she skipped leg day?
No. I'm gonna need you to go a little bit. I'm gonna need you to go up.
Oh,
I give you a clue. They are very. They are. What's a good word? What's a good word that both sexes can agree on here? I'm gonna make up. Carter's gonna make up a word. They're very nibbleable.
Oh, boobs.
There you go.
Is it big breastises?
There you go.
Is it? Wait, I'm sorry. Wait, y'all. Forgive me. Is it titties?
I don't like that word. That word. You made that word sound nasty just then. But I think that's really what it is, because if you put the big chest on, I don't think people will complain, because then it will be more in line with what they themselves remember. What was in Marvel vs. Capcom 3, which I know a lot of people's memory went toward as well. So yeah, I think that's really the only thing. If she had the big chest and was a little bit more toned, which again, this was a trailer for a show that's coming out in like 3 months, so they could very easily fix that.
Well, it's not. Yeah, it's not even just that though. The thing is, and this is what I think a lot of people are kind of freaking out about for the wrong reasons. A lot of people I've seen online have talked about how, the CGI looks bad. Well, here's the thing, and I don't know if y'all know this. Maybe if you work in the industry, maybe you'll know this. I don't work in the industry, but I know a lot of people who do. And I've been around a lot of industry types in my time, so I kind of have a little bit of an inside track on this thing. CG. When you see a trailer, when you see a movie trailer, the special effects usually aren't always finished when the movie trailer comes out. So when you see a movie trailer, and anytime you've seen a movie trailer where you say, "Oh man, CG doesn't look as good as as good as it should," here's what the thing you need to take into consideration. When the trailer is made, they are typically, the people who are making the trailer, the editors for the trailer, are usually using CG that's in its early stages, 99.9% of the time. The only time you see the finished CG in a lot of cases is typically either when like it's a trailer that's released like the week before the movie comes out, usually 1 to 2 weeks before the movie comes out, or TV show, whatever comes out, and then also when the movie is already out. A lot of times you usually don't see, and more often than not, you usually don't see the finished product until you actually see the finished product, like when it is finally released. So that's why when people were complaining about the CG, saying that the CG for the show didn't look good, I was like, here. Okay, first off, let's keep it a buck here. My first thought was, well, okay, but what were you expecting? Like, because here's the deal. I know a lot of people are thinking, oh, well, it's a Marvel project, and a lot of people keep wanting to conflate Marvel movies with Marvel television, and I'm sorry, but the two don't operate on the exact same budget. A TV show, and I know a lot of people got spoiled by Game of Thrones, but even Game of Thrones, while it did have pretty good CG for a TV show, Game of Thrones was the exception, not the rule.
Not anymore, because of Stranger Things now. Good.
Well, no. That's what I was gonna say. Stranger Things has definitely changed that too. But the thing is, I'm glad you said Stranger Things, because you want to know what's very interesting about Stranger Things, Carter.
Winona Ryder? Oh.
No, I was going to say that 99.9% of all the CG in that show is in what?
Dead by Daylight?
Close. It's in darkness.
Yeah.
A lot of the time when you see the creatures in that show, it's not under a lot of light, or it's under low light. So it's easier to hide how ridiculous something looks. She-Hulk doesn't have that luxury because, and I'll actually, it's a lot because she's a broad daylight superhero. She's usually just kind of out there in the world. It's not one of those deals where they can obscure her under the cover of darkness. It's kind of like, remember that, Carter, do you remember that movie, The Host?
Yes.
It was the Korean movie that had the sea monster that was like running around. One of the most common criticisms about that movie, both good and bad, that I used to hear was that the studio had the balls to actually showcase the monster in broad daylight on a regular basis, unlike most Hollywood movies, where like you watch like any other horror movie or sci-fi movie that has a movie monster that's CG, they would obscure it with darkness so you couldn't tell that the CGI wasn't like absolutely perfect. But they would also say that the monster looked ridiculous or at times because the CG wasn't perfect. But that's the thing. That's kind of the risk you run when you broad day. It's kind of like you remember that old Eddie Griffin comedy special where he talked about night fighters.
Oh God.
Yeah, he said what he called it. He called it vampire pussy. Because he said, basically, he said, because they look better at night than they do in broad daylight. That's what CG is a lot of the time. When you put CG under broad daylight, man, it's harder to hide the flaws in it. And CG ain't perfect. No one's is. If you put everyone's CG under scrutiny, everything falls apart. That's when everything just goes to hell in a handbasket. But I don't have a problem with the CG. I don't care, because I'm more, you know what I'm interested in, Carter? I'm interested in the character. And let's keep it a buck. Let's keep it a buck here. Tatiana Maslany is a great actress, capable of bringing it in any setting.
That sister made me watch Perry Mason. I'm watching She-Hulk,
bruh, look. And here's the thing, like, she actually, like, okay, you know what I walked away with, Carter? I was like, this is She-Hulk. I walked away with the feel, I was like, this is She-Hulk. You can already see the comedy elements that She-Hulk typically has in it. The slice of life, the day-to-day. Hell, the part that I showed earlier right here, where, and a lot of people didn't catch this, she's literally getting ready to knock Jamila Jamil the fuck out right here. For those that don't know, Jamila Jamil, for a lot of you may know from The Good Place, is playing Titania on the show. We've talked about this before, but a lot of people didn't catch her in the trailer because it's a blink and you will miss it.
That looks like weird CG.
Yeah,
just that quick shot. That lets me know it's still getting finished.
Right. But the thing is, what I liked about it is that, well, for one, they embrace the ridiculousness of Titania, but I like the fact that, yeah, we're seeing her in broad daylight. We're actually seeing her walking around. She's not obscured by anything. There's only a couple of shots we see in the trailer where she's actually in dark light, or like very, very, very low light. There's like a nighttime shot.
I like this shot right here of Jennifer. I like this shot of Jennifer right here. Just can we look. Let's stop. Let's stop, because you're giving several reasons as to why she looks the way she does, and not trying to say you caping for it, but more so,
no.
You giving a lot of reasons that you don't need to or have to.
Definitely.
Bottom line is this, okay? Because we kind of did a role reversal just then. I'm mostly trying to speak for people that have only watched these, that don't read books. That's why he and I work so well. It's just because it's a back and forth first take kind of deal. But we kind of just flipped, because normally I'm the one that's saying what he's saying, and he's going to say, and I'm going to say what he probably would have said. way back. So let's just stop this. They could have very easily not done what they did in that trailer.
Oh yeah,
you all could have been looking at some Lou Ferrigno around here. They could have painted Tatiana Maslany up with some green spray paint, put her ass in some sketches, and said She-Hulk, attorney at law. But they didn't do that. They put some kind of budget on it to where we got to see at least, and yeah, we got 3 months before this comes out. It's a proof of concept, damn near. Like, this is what she's going to look like. We have to finish some things, but this is what we got. Now, a lot of people want to bring up the TV budget and stuff like that. Here's the deal: some of those movie budgets. Here's the thing that people forget. Infinity War. Everybody loves to talk about Infinity War. What's the one thing people used to poke and prod at in Infinity War? Is one specific scene when Thor shows up in Wakanda. And what do you see? Little head ass Mark Ruffalo popping out.
Popping out of the Hulkbuster.
Fake as it wanted to be. I mean, that looked extra fake. Right?
Oh, no, not even just that. Endgame. There's a scene of Hulk running. They're doing the full, where everybody's running it, everybody, comes in after the on your left, everybody's charging in against his forces. There's a part where if you actually look at as everybody's running, one thing I've seen a lot of people point out is that when Hulk is running alongside everybody, he looks eerily unfinished. As far as the CG goes. But I mean, it's one of those things, it's such a big shot, it's easy to miss shit.
Alexander Smith, I feel that they have to be a lot further than proof of concept at this point. You're absolutely right. I just couldn't think of a proper word to say in that instance. But what my point was, they've done this before with film. They've done this before with movies where we'll see something, and once we see the finished product, it will look better. Sometimes, unfortunately, it don't. Well, another point I was going to bring up, Captain America and the First Avenger. You mean tell me that Chris Evans had good CG when he was a skinny, lanky boy? Stop it.
No, actually, I remember the first trailers when that came out. It actually looked worse in the trailers than it did in the final. When you get to the final movie, I didn't really notice it anymore. But I do remember seeing the first trailer for Captain America: The First Avenger, and I remember laughing my ass off when they showed Skinny Steve. But when the final movie came out, it wasn't you could tell they had. They had touched it up. But that's the thing, though. And once again, to the untrained eye, it's easy to just... Well, no, I am going to do it because, for one, it's my show. I do what the fuck I want. But I will do it because a lot of people make this fucking mistake. It's not an unfair thing to say that people don't make this mistake. They do. People do it all the fucking time. They do it with movies. They do it with TV shows. They do it with video games. Everybody comes I can't tell you how many times that a first trailer for something comes out and people complain about how bad something looks or doesn't look or whatever. Then you get to the final product and then no one says shit because you want to know why? Because the thing that they were complaining about was once again in early stages and was eventually addressed. The last thing I'll say, because honestly, I don't give a shit. I'm into the show as far as what it looks like so far. I have been waiting on this for a long time. I've wanted She-Hulk in the MCU for 5 ever. And I'm glad I'm finally getting it. I'm not going to sit here and bitch, moan, and complain and whine and cry about it. What I will say is the vibe of the She-Hulk comics is present. Now, while we don't see any fourth wall breaking moments in this, I think some were probably looking for, case in point, instances like this, where She-Hulk is coming to rip up them X-Men's because you didn't purchase the book. No, we hadn't seen that yet, but I would not be mad if they did something along those same lines. Carter, do you know how hard I would fall off the couch and smack my head on the coffee table laughing my ass off if I'm watching She-Hulk? And you know how, not every show does post-credit stingers or whatever, but if they did do this with this show, and they did a deal where she started talking to the audience, like, or something would happen and a fourth wall moment would just occur, I would lose my shit. But no, because that's what I loved about She-Hulk when I was a kid, is that, you know, she did random ass shit that would just, like, I think there was an issue I remember reading ways back. I forget what it was that was exactly going on, but, like, she got chased off the panel, like into the in-between parts of the pages, and she jumped over to another panel because she said it was safer over there. It was some weird shit. But yeah, a lot of people don't remember that. She-Hulk used to break the fourth wall on a regular... This was actually during, if I'm not mistaken, during the Sensational She-Hulk. During Sensational She-Hulk, that's when she used to do it the most. She doesn't do it as much anymore these days, but I wouldn't be against it. I wouldn't be against it at all. What I will say, though, Carter, the reason why I'm even more excited, because they're embracing the ridiculousness of She-Hulk, even in this trailer. Carter, did you catch one of the most famous street-level superheroes in the history of Marvel in this trailer? Did you catch him?
I had to rewind it like 4 times because my mind being my mind, as soon as I saw it, let me tell you what Carter's ignorant ass said. Hype man.
Look, man, y'all don't, you see, let's put you on game. This is one of the greatest superheroes of all time, y'all. This is Frogman. They got Frogman out here. One of the greatest of all time. Best that ever did it. Yeah, y'all want to talk about Spider-Man. Y'all like, you see, y'all on that J. Jonah Jameson bullshit. Y'all just, all y'all want is pictures of Spider-Man. But y'all ain't putting enough respect on Frogman, y'all. Frogman is out here. But they got Frogman in there. Of course, we already showed Titanium. And another character that shows up in this too, that we knew was going to show up in the show, he's been rumored for a long time, was Tim Roth reprising his role as the Abomination.
Yeah,
we actually get to see him in his human form in this trailer, but we also get to see the same new form that we saw him in Shang-Chi in The Legend of the Ten Rings. So that was pretty cool. Another thing we actually got to see in this trailer that I think a lot of people are probably going to gloss over is there's a new facility that we haven't seen in the MCU yet that pops up in this trailer. A lot of people are wondering what it is, and what and a lot of other people are thinking this as well, just based on the nature of the inside of it, is that this is very likely, maybe possibly, the headquarters of the Thunderbolts. A lot of people are thinking this is like the place where the Thunderbolts hang out. I'm not saying that's exactly what it is, but it wouldn't surprise me. Just like if you look at the inside of this, I mean, this place is kind of fancy. It's kind of fancy. It wouldn't be much of a stretch if this were the case. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff to like in this. There's a lot of stuff to like in this. I'm into it.
Let me ask you this.
Go ahead.
Because this is now another instance where we have seen Abomination. We don't know what they're gonna do with Thunderbolt. We don't know what they're gonna do with Ross.
No.
But there was another piece that they have not touched on yet. Now, even though this looks to be a more lighthearted show, a lot of people complain that the goofy nature and stuff with Professor Hulk, all that should have been saved for this, and they want regular Hulk back for regular Hulk shenanigans, but let the lighthearted fun stuff be with Jennifer Walters. That was one complaint I've seen. But just to go back, you think we're gonna see the leader? Maybe this would be a way to do it.
Well, you know, if they brought back Tim Roth, I wouldn't be upset. Like, because Tim Blake Nelson, the guy that played the leader in The Incredible Hulk, or rather, he played Samuel Stearns before he becomes a leader. Like towards the end of the movie, you kind of see the seed for it being planted that they never addressed later. But this would likely be the third time in the MCU proper, or rather, no, take that back. Actually, fifth, rather, in the MCU since Incredible Hulk came out that they've addressed something, a plot point or a character from it. Of course, as we know, William Hurt, the late William Hurt, he played Thunderbolt Ross in that movie. He's come back a couple of times as Thunderbolt Ross in other MCU stuff. And of course, we've had Tim Roth, who once again played Emil Blonsky, the Abomination. He's appeared twice since that movie. And we've also got Tim Blake Nelson is the one person that's not come back. Technically, we've seen Betty Ross since then as well, but not Liv Tyler. It was in the MCU What If animated series.
Oh, gotcha.
So here's my thing. While I'm not that interested in seeing Ty Burrell come back as Doc Samson anytime soon, that was a rough Doc. That wasn't my Doc Samson, y'all. That wasn't.
After reading Immortal Hulk, and then you telling me that was who that was supposed to be, I can't tell you, because I like that Incredible Hulk movie.
Oh, I love it. Yeah, I love it.
God, that made me so mad when you told me.
Yeah, well, because they don't tell you. They don't tell you that that's him. They don't, specifically say his name. But if you look in the credits, you're like, oh, shit. It's him. Damn. I was like, man, y'all couldn't have got somebody else to play the Doc. Oh. Ty Burrell, y'all. This was your Doc Samson. This was your Doc Samson, y'all. Doc Samson. Look, wait a minute.
I can't help but think about him from Modern Family and just being such a goof, dude.
Right?
Doc Samson.
That was a whole, look.
Laying it on Betty Ross before Banner came back.
Look, dude. And the messed up part about it is that, when you think about Doc Samson, you think about the character of Doc Samson, it's like, dude, he's supposed to be like I don't know. I feel like he's supposed to be a guy that you look at that you would reasonably believe could hold his own, against the Hulk. But when I see Ty Burrell, I'm like, nah, that dude cannot hold his own against the Hulk. This dude would catch that work.
Props to Tim Roth, though, because
I
did not expect Tim Roth to be in this. I kind of thought they were going to go the same route with Bruce Banner, of just getting a different actor to portray a different version of the Abomination, because honest to God, anytime I think about Tim Roth in that Hulk movie, it's just him catching that Sparta kick from Hulk, right? Going into that tree, dog. Oh my God.
Man, he got laid out. Or actually, you know what I remember? I remember that and him, I want a real fight. That's what I remember every time. That and the kick. But anyway, it is what it is.
I want to ask the chat a question, because I just saw somebody bring it up. A lot of people have said that they want Ed Norton back in the role of Bruce Banner and the Hulk. Let me ask you this question. If you knew what you knew now, if you knew that at some point down the line, Edward Norton was going to end up being Professor Hulk, would you still want Edward Norton back? I'm just asking. No. That's not even me being a troll or anything. I'm just asking. I'm asking you all.
Here's the thing. And don't get me wrong. I like Edward Norton in a lot of different things, but here's the deal.
Mm-hmm.
Probably my least favorite part of the Incredible Hulk movie is Edward Norton.
Really?
Yeah, I'm not that huge a fan of his Bruce Banner, because you know what it was. They were trying to go in the direction of making him more like the Bill Bixby Banner. Like they even
had a scene with him walking.
Yeah, him doing the hitchhiking thing. But here's the thing, though. He just came off like his Banner, which, to be fair, Bruce Banner is kind of an asshole, depending on who's writing him at the time. But when Banner is an asshole, it's harder to feel sympathy for him, because that was the whole thing. We're supposed to feel sympathy for him. We're supposed to sympathize with him because his life has been upended by becoming the Hulk. But it was really difficult for me to feel sympathy for him, because a lot of the times he was being a dick. Just like, I actually like Mark Ruffalo better because it's easier for me to sympathize with him because he's not an asshole. But a lot of people, earlier going back to the whole Thunderbolts thing, a lot of people are like, oh, well, if you don't have William Hurt around anymore, how are you going to do Thunderbolts? Well, I'm going to tell you how you do it. Don't be surprised if you see this face pop up on this show at some point. Don't be surprised. Don't be shocked or surprised.
I still want to call her Victoria Hand, man, and I know who it is.
Yeah, right? I mean, I'm just saying, don't be surprised if you don't see her pop up at some point. Another thing that, and I'm not saying this is what this is, but one of the rumors going around right now, and I'm not, and once again, I want to make this, incredibly clear when I say this. I'm not saying that I prescribe to it.
Okay.
I'm not saying that it's going to happen, but there are quite a few people that think we saw the Wrecking Crew, or rather a proto. Yeah, like we saw a proto version of the Wrecking Crew. Now, once again, not like I said, not saying that it is, not saying that it isn't, but there's a shot in this trailer early on where they kind of linger on a group of men for a little bit too long. That kind of made me wonder some things, but I don't think it's gonna go down quite that way. And once again, not saying this is the Wrecking Crew as we know them, but I wouldn't be surprised or shocked if that did turn out to be the case. If this did turn out to be the Wrecking Crew, like just pre getting their hands on that gear.
What if they look like that on the show? I would holler, bro. That would be She-Hulk would be my favorite Marvel show.
Oh yeah.
If they came out looking like that, just because of the rage and my just trolly nature I would be laughing too hard if they came out looking like that, trying to whoop somebody.
Oh yeah. Well, here's the thing though. We've seen similar portrayals. A lot of people, how quickly people forget. Richard E. Grant. Richard E. Grant's Loki. His version of his Loki variant wore a costume that was pretty much comics accurate. Like it literally looked like it was plucked right out of the old school Thor comics from back in the day. So I mean, I wouldn't be against it. I wouldn't be against it at all. I like what I'm seeing here. I'm excited. That was all Nate is saying. Like, I enjoyed the trailer. I thought it was good. I'm excited.
Yeah, I like the trailer as well. I'm gonna go see it. I'm gonna go see it. Of course I am. I ain't gotta go nowhere. It's Tatiana Maslany. So look, here's my thing. A lot of people accepted Professor Hulk.
Yeah.
You could do the same with this. Stop.
Yeah. I'm fine with it.
You want her to have muscles? Who says she's not going to? Right? If they could very easily do some Hulk stuff to where she gets mad and she gets swole. I hope not as swole like in them Jason Aaron Avengers. I hope to God we don't go there.
But that's what people want, Carter. I'm joking, by the way. I hope you know I'm joking.
But yeah, when it comes to She-Hulk, I'm going to watch it. I mean, we've gotten Moon Knight, Loki, Falcon and the Winter Soldier, Hawkeye. We've gotten what else? I'm missing one because Hawkeye wasn't the first one. What was the first one?
Oh, it's about WandaVision. Yeah, WandaVision.
Yeah. So out of all those shows, we've only gotten one. We've gotten scenes of lighthearted stuff, but we've never gotten.
It's mostly been about trauma and PTSD. A lot of these shows.
Yeah, a lot of the shows have been more serious. Hawkeye was the closest to where it was trying to.
It rode the line.
It rode the line. Thank you.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping that She-Hulk is going to do the same, and I have faith that She-Hulk is going to do the same just because of the cast. I may not like Mark Ruffalo as Hulk. Mark Ruffalo's he's a good actor. Tatiana Maslany, I've seen you all. I've praised Orphan Black several times. I saw her in Perry Mason. I've seen her in other films. So the acting is there. I don't mind the CG. I think here's the thing. There have been several films and TV shows that we have all grown up with throughout the years that have had some suspect stuff in it, graphics, just CG, blood, guts, all those stuff, and we still accepted those, even with what the corny stuff that was in them. You can do the same with this. Stop it. Yeah, they could have. Yeah. Everybody wants to bring up the MCU stuff. I mean, at least they're doing. And I personally think that stuff is stupid, but
yeah.
At least they're doing them as TV shows and not movies.
Yeah. I think TV shows are better in a lot of instances because you can do more character development. I feel like if this were a movie, I don't know if I would enjoy it as much. Because I feel like they would try and rush through the character development of She-Hulk. They would just rush to it. And I would rather see a full-on arc. But like you said, there's been a lot of the Marvel shows up to this point have dealt with PTSD, trauma, to some degree or another. Actually, I'm ready for something lighthearted. I'm ready for something lighthearted. And it's not to say that She-Hulk isn't going to deal with some kind of serious issue, but I'm just saying, based on what I've seen so far, this is the least serious-looking MCU show that has come out so far.
Completely okay with it.
Especially after Moon Knight. Okay. Yeah, especially after Moon Knight.
Yeah.
I especially need something lighthearted after Moon Knight. Even
I was going to say, that's why I brought up The Leader, because you could very easily have that as a fun, lighthearted show, but then you could have something a tad bit serious, but it's still the lighthearted, fun show. So I have faith in this show. I have high hopes for this.
Yeah. No, same. Part where she's joking about how when they say, "Oh, well, you're a superhero," and she's like, "Oh, that's for adult orphans for some reason." Like you're throwing shade at the fact that a lot of the superheroes, not just in the MCU but just in general, tend to be orphans of some nature. In some way, shape, form, or fashion, they have suffered some kind of extreme loss. And She-Hulk doesn't have that. Like, I don't know if they're going to go with the classic She-Hulk origin of her needing a blood transfusion. We see a car wreck at some point where it looks like, she ends up like almost hulking out there. But there was a line of dialogue, and I might be misremembering it, but there's a part where like her and Hulk are talking, and it's about how they have something in their family, like there's some kind of connection or something that they have that like they have to deal with, or some BS like that. But I mean, whatever it is they choose to go with, I'm fine with it. I don't care. It's She-Hulk. I'm down. I want to see She-Hulk getting her snoo on in all her glory. Let her be as great as they let Jessica Jones be.
Wait a minute, bro. She picked you up and took you to the bedroom.
Yeah.
She just picked you up and you let her.
Yeah. Look, let me tell you. Let me tell y'all something. Let me put y'all on game here. Speaking as a man whose wife is 6'1", and I am a whole ass 5'8". Look, y'all, there have been some nights,
dog,
where this been me. And I'm just like, yeah, let's go. So look, I ain't mad at it, okay? I saw this and I hollered. I was like, yeah. I was like, that's me. You know how we always say we want to see representation, we want to see ourselves in the media we watch? When I saw this dude right here, I was like, that's me.
You know what, Exile? You are, my bad. Elite, you are absolutely right. Let her. Let's not act like he had a choice. Yeah.
No, he really did. He really did not have a choice.
He wanted to shut those fries. It was a wrap.
Oh yeah. Look. First off, when you see her make this face,
oh my god,
she was like, "Excuse me, we gonna share some fries?"
Can you imagine? Had that man said seasoned fries, she'd have did him in right there on the table.
Look. This her when she saw the seasoned fries. But you know what? I do want to talk about something real quick, and then we'll move on. There's a scene. There's a shot. That's a tall glass of milk and I'm a chocolate chip. Danger. Oh, God. Look, I'm just saying, y'all. But no, there's a part where, like, she, like, when she was swiping through Tinder, the part where she was swiping through Tinder, and she got that look, and she was like, when she had that look where she was like, damn! I knew what she saw. She saw something. Cause look, you can't see it as good in the reflection, but somebody done showed her something. I bet she got an unsolicited pic. She was like, bruh, let's go.
Let me tell you something. all She-Hulk let me know was I had a chance because she swiped right on everybody. That means I got a shot.
Oh yeah, dude. Look, first off, can we just talk about like just real quick? I know I said it earlier, but the fact that we got former WWE superstar David Otunga.
So I need you to go ahead and make fun of me. I need everybody in the chat to make fun of me because they showed him so quick. I thought it was Mother's Milk from The Boys.
Hey, you know what? On that, that's a good segue. that's a good enough segue for me.
Word to wise, grass only greener when it's fertilized. Gave them truth in these songs, they prefer to lies. Destiny beautiful, adrift in her purple eyes. You can't see me, you Stevie. Wondering how I reach more evolutions than Evie and make it look easy. Man, dream on, dream on, yeah. Dream on, dream weaver.